It's good to be back. And this has been a fantastic week as well, with a lot of requests flowing in. And one specific category of requests that I would like to address this time around is, hey, Venkat, how should we review the deals in the pipeline? What kinds of questions should I ask? Let's say I'm not a hardcore sales person who has become a manager. What kinds of questions should we ask? In fact, I wanted to go ahead and share with you 5 questions that can transform how you review deals. Let me go ahead and share these questions with you. Hopefully, you will note these down and ask your sales teams these questions and let me know what kinds of responses do you get. The first question relates to what we call due date on the opportunity. The question that I normally ask people is, how did the customer arrive at this due date? And most often, you will find that your team members are smiling because the due date is not the customer's due date. It's our own estimation and hope that it will close by this time. Most likely, if you see either a month end or a quarter end as the due date, you know that your team is guessing. The second element relates to the budget. And this is where you could go ahead and ask your team, hey, how does your customer determine whether this project is a good investment or a bad investment? Now, when you ask a question like that, what you're trying to really find out is what truly is the criteria that your customer is applying to decide on your project. In a lot of cases, you would find some very superficial responses. I've come across very few salespeople who actually know what truly are the customer's criteria. The third element that you could go ahead and think about is primarily on your project and how it impacts your customers' results. So the question that I normally ask is, hey, how does your customer describe how your project shows up on their CEO's KPIs? And when you ask this question, what you're really testing is, has your team member connected the dots from your capabilities, products, or services to the customer's measurable and monetizable business outcomes? Because if they can't connect, the customer will not be able to articulate all of this. The fourth element relates primarily to stakeholder management and strategy. And this is one of my favorite questions, which is, when you and the customer say yes, who are 3 people within the customer who can say no? And this really talks to, have they done the mapping right? Have they covered all of the CXOs, right? Have they covered all of the decision makers? And this becomes extremely important. The last element that I go ahead and ask people is primarily around differentiation. Now, a great question to ask your team is, how does your customer monetize your differentiation? Because if the customer is not monetizing it, that means there is no differentiation, right? If there is no differentiation, it means there will only be commoditization. So think about these 5 questions. I'm hoping you will rerun this video, write down these 5 questions, use these in your reviews, and I'm sure you will learn a lot through these 5 questions. And because I love all of you who are listening to this video, I'm going to give you one more question. This is what the French call a lagniappe, one extra in a baker's dozen, right? So when you think about one question you could ask your team members is, hey, tell me all the reasons why you will lose this deal. In fact, if there is only one question you could be asking, ask them that question. Because unless they confront reality and they can mitigate risks, you can never go ahead and win the deal. I hope this segment has been useful for you. I want each one of you to win more. I want each one of you to ensure that you empower your teams to win more. So when you ask these hard questions, make sure that you ask it softly. Be hard on the issue, soft on the person. Good luck. Wish you many more wins.